My name is Gregory Blatt. I'm co-founder of a company called H55 based in Switzerland. So H55 is a company, as many of you know, we're the spin-off of Solar Impulse. The three co-founders were part of the Solar Impulse project, the first airplane, electric airplane to fly around the world with solar panels, but really without a drop of fuel. We completed a 50,000 kilometer journey in 2017. What was important about that is it showed that the technology wasn't about tomorrow, it was about today. Okay? You can't cheat in an airplane. Either it flies or it falls out of the sky. And we showed that the technology works. And that was the impetus, that was the idea behind creating H55. What did we learn around Solar Impulse? Well, we built a very efficient airplane, but we built an extremely efficient propulsion system. What I mean by propulsion system, I mean the engine, the drivetrain, with the motor, with the inverter, with the batteries on the other side, the energy storage side, and to make that all work, what we call energy and power management systems. And that's where H55 really focuses on that technology. And we're looking at one of our first applications behind me, the B23 Energic. It's an all-electric flight trainer general aviation airplane that has been flying in Europe for the last couple of years and now started flying in as of April of this year. We are now here in Oshkosh in Wisconsin. This is our 7th state. We started in Florida, we were in Alabama, we were in Nevada, Colorado, California, and from here we'll be going to the Hamptons and Montreal. And the idea is to get people to try out the airplane. Okay? It's really, and who's been trying out? We've had flight instructors, professional pilots, some NASA astronauts even, some heads of deans of aeronautical universities, general aviation enthusiasm, FBOs. Okay, we've done about 160 flights, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal. What everybody likes about it is, and I guess there's 3 ways you can summarize it. Of course, there's the obvious benefits, the societal benefits. It's quiet, it doesn't make any noise. Okay, it's clean, it doesn't pollute. On the performance benefits, you know, when a student starts to learn, it's a very stressful experience. They have to learn how to turn on the motor, okay? There's vibrations, there's noise, okay? They have to worry about oil at altitudes, okay? They can't read the gas tank properly because the needle is moving all the time. So from that point of view, the student, it's a much more comfortable experience. From the economics point of view, well, we all know we're not investing in gas. We don't have the same maintenance, okay, costs and expenses with the traditional combustion. The example I like to use is that a typical flight school in the United States with a comparable airplane in combustion will use 2 gallons of gas for startup, for run-up, for waiting time and taxiway. Okay, 2 gallons. We use 25 cents of electricity. So that's the third element, what I call the economics, which makes it really a very nice offering. And the reception in the United States has just been absolutely fantastic. People are quite surprised, I have to say. First of all, what really surprises them, and everybody says it's the first thing when I ask them, the noise. You can take off your headphones and talk to your fellow passenger or pilot without that. I mean, then they say, well, it flies like even better than a normal aircraft. It flies like I'm driving my Tesla, you know, because you've got that torque and that speed. So they love so I think they come in a little bit skeptical, or they're not, I wouldn't say skeptical, but they're not quite sure what to expect, okay? And then, you know, oh, it flies even better than a normal aircraft. Oh, it doesn't make any noise. Oh, you mean that flight cost me $3.50 in electricity, you know? So everybody has this incredible smile. So, and that's what's amazing about coming to the United States, because you're in a country that embraces new and disruptive technologies. And when you're on that side of the fence, you know, you're everybody's favorite. So the reception, as I said, at Oshkosh or different airports has just been phenomenal. What we're doing is we're creating the baseline for the VTOLs, okay? We're taking the technology that they're using, we're certifying it on a fixed wing, which is the starting point. And I think the FAA is comfortable with that because they can get the experience and working with us and the data we share with them to help the VTOLs. The VTOL guys are going to still need to start training on fixed wing applications. We're talking to some of them about using these airplanes. So I think there's a lot of, and as battery density, we'll be moving along the line with battery density. So we'll be meeting their requirements. But as we know in aviation, you know, we can't wait 5 years to start the process. We know that we'll get that battery density in 5 years, but we can't wait because the certification path starts now. So for us, we take a very pragmatic approach. What does battery performance and density allow us to do? And this is a perfect application. We'll be able to fly in the United States 90 minutes total flight time and total endurance time. 90 minutes allows you to do all the circuit training and things like that. So it responds very well to that type of need. Final path to certification our propulsion system will be certified in Europe at the beginning of next year. Entry into service into the United States a year later. And of course, with our system, what's great about it is rather than investing in fuel, okay, as people come to the end of the battery cycle, 1,500 hours, let's say, okay, the money that they've saved in fuel, they'll get they'll be buying better batteries. So when you say the what next, there's always going to be improvements on this, okay, each time. And of course, we have other projects going on. This is one of our first customers, but we have projects going on with CAE and Piper to convert their training fleet, the CAE training fleet in the United States, up to 80 airplanes are foreseen. We work on another project in Canada with Pratt & Whitney and de Havilland on a 49-seat hybrid electric with a 30% fuel savings. That's something personally I'm very, very bullish about. I think that's an excellent application. Commuters, the airlines have been struggling with that to make it work. We don't have a good airplane, we don't have a good business model, and this is something that I'm talking to people that's responding well to market demands.